Dear traders, welcome to the Legacy Academy Bootcamp Day 10, right? And today we'll just recap last week, what we did, what we learned. And as a recap, I want to show you how to read a chart naked. No indicators, no lines, no trend lines, no volume profile, no volume, no ATR, no RSI, no MACD, nothing. You'll look at the chart and you'll be able to decide whether it's a buy, it's a sell, where are the important levels and the areas of interest. Is it going up? Is it going down? What's going on in the market? What's going on with that asset? And what should you do in order to take advantage of the price moves, right? So we are on the 4 hours, and I'll just zoom in so we have a better view here. So when I look at a chart like this and I wake up in the morning, it's 9 a.m. and I want to get into the market, look, I open my charts, I look at multiple assets, and just by looking at the chart of these assets, I know which one I want to trade, which one I don't want to trade. I know at which areas I want to trade them. I know at what price I want to buy or sell and take my trade. I know where's my TP, I know where's my SL, and everything has a reason. I don't make a move without having a reason behind and without having a plan to hedge my risk if anything bad happens, or to increase my profit if anything good happens, right? So when you look at this, I'll give you 5 seconds to decide what you're seeing. Okay, so what you're seeing here is basically we are on Euro USD, right? So you see a push to the upside here and then a crash down that came very fast, right? And then another bullish move that continued until this high. That was the highest point that was reached, the highest price, and then started hovering around. And now it's kind of breaching this low, right? Even though we want a confirmation of this breach. However, in during these moves, you see that some areas are more important than others. When I talk about importance, it simply means that some price ranges are sticking. So when you look at the price move, for example, and you see that range forming in this price range, that range forming in this price range, and this range forming in this price range, you understand that here we have important levels. So you basically have an interest from the buyers and the sellers that are happy with these prices. They found a consensus price, right? So for example, this level and this level are important. This price and this price are important. However, understand that as we saw, supply and demand are not lines, they are areas. So for example, this whole area is important for sellers. This whole area is important for buyers. Same here, for buyers important, for sellers important, until buyers won the war basically. But that's also false to say. It's just a habit to simplify it. But what's actually happening in the price is not buyers buying more. It can be, but it's not necessarily this. It can be any new information getting into the market and being embedded in the price of your USD. Let's say, for example, we got a news that impacted your USD to the upside, and you see that move happening, and then people need to reach a new consensus price, and the consensus price that will be reached is basically the fair value that will be decided for this asset. And so same thing here, this is an important area for buyers. This is an important area for sellers. And then you'll decide, well, if the price reaches here, if I want to sell, I want to see a breach that comes with purpose and power and that is confirmed so I can sell. However, in this area, it's kind of risky to sell. Okay? There you go. So you want to understand where are the buy orders and the sell orders, and how the only way for you, if you don't have an order book that you can read from, the only way to do it is to look at price reactions from particular levels and particular prices, and it will show. Let's go to the 1 hour. So we are on the 1 hour here, and this is the range we're looking at on the 4 hours. And as we see here, yes, you see that move to the upside, and you see the price hovering around here. You know that this area is kind of important for buyers. This area is kind of important for sellers, but you have others area that you can see here. This area, for example, that got breached to the downside. This area important for buyers, breach to the downside again, etc., etc. Now you see a clear, on the 1 hour, you see a clear push to the downside from this started 13 August and we are 20th August, right? So that's a 7 days move. Went down, went back up, went down, couldn't reach this level, got pushed to the downside, and right now it's looks like it's breaching this level, right? And here you have another important level that this might the price might react from there. Okay, let's go to the 15 minutes. You know, you don't need to like spend your whole life analyzing a chart. You see what you see, and you need to be able to interpret it as good as possible. Your interpretation needs to be qualitative and needs to have a reason. I don't care if you take your whole life, your whole day, or like 5 hours analyzing the chart, if there's no valuable information that you can get from the chart. Okay, you can spend 5 minutes analyzing the chart and have all the information you need to take action. You don't want to spend too less, you don't want to spend too much. Okay, you want to have a good balance to take the information you need and act upon it. And here what we see, we have a bit more details about the moves that we were looking at and analyzing in the 4 hours and the 1 hour. And you see that push to the downside here, breached that level, had a hard time to breach it, but eventually breached it. And that area that was important for buyers became important for sellers. So every time the price came here, got pushed to the downside twice, right? So we won't talk about making any decision right now, but now you understand that, okay, there are market participants. This is a recap, right? There are market participants that are interested in Euro USD a bit more than you, because you don't really care if you're trading Euro USD, crypto, Nvidia, or whatever you're trading, and nobody really cares because you're a trader. But there are people making the price move, right? And there are other traders with billions and billions and billions of dollars that can that can have an influence on that price as well. So we simplified all these market participants by calling them buyers, people who buy, and sellers, people who sell, right? And on top of that, you can recognize areas that interest these sellers and these buyers by reading the chart, by looking at the chart and seeing what is happening, at what levels does the price react, and how the price reacts from these levels. And from there, you can decide whether this move is a bearish move, is a bullish move, by looking at the chart, by reading the chart. And once you understand the important areas and where the price is heading, and at the same time the fundamentals that we learned how to read, either you're a day trader, a swing trader, or an investor, then you can start making decisions of um yeah, what what do you want to do? Do you want to sell? Do you want to buy? Why do you want to sell? Why do you want to buy? Needs to have a reason. And at which levels you want to put your take profit and your stop loss, we're going to talk about in the next videos. But the next video, the one just right after this video, will talk about how to find your edge. And this will be the most important thing for you, because that will be the next block, the next important block of building your own strategy and becoming a good trader, right? So I'll see you on the next one, and congratulations for coming that far.